Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute. By a minute, I mean like 2 weeks. I've been going through stuff and that'll reflect in this reading wrap up for July and the August TBR. That's crazy. The month went by so fast yet kind of slow. And I can't believe it's already August. Well, it's going to be. Today's July, it's July 31st today. I'm straight up not, I know I'm not finishing the book that I'm reading today, so I'm just filming my wrap up now because there's no way, it's not going to be included in this month's wrap up anyways. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a July wrap up, pick my August TBR. Hopefully reading will get better than it was this month. Is my face really red? Anyways, let's get to it. Alrighty, first things first, we're going to start off with my July TBR that I had. As a reminder, these are the titles that I had: Fragments by Nahila K, Ride With Me by Simone Sultani, Promise Me Sunshine, Cara Stone, The Naturals, Jennifer Lynn Barnes, One Last Stop, Casey McQuiston, and A Court of Thorns and Roses, Sarah J. Maas. In total, I read 3 books this month. Yeah, it was not the best month. As I said before, I've been going through it, and it reflected in my reading, which is how you know it's not been the best. But 2 of the 3 have been from this pile, so I'm very excited. And one of them's from my 2025 TBR, so we're starting to make our way through that. And at least I got through 2 on this because I wasn't sure if I was gonna. So I call it a win. Let's go through the books I actually read. As I just mentioned, I only read 3 books this month. I'm currently on my 4th, but I'm not going to finish it. So I'm not including it in the July wrap-up because I didn't finish it. I'm currently reading Assistant to the Villain. I read Fragments by Nahila K. I did mention this in the July TBR video that I was on this is the most recent release from the series, and I was reading the series in order. This was the last one. It was still in my July TBR, so this is one of them. What did I rate this? I rated this book 4 stars. These 2. Okay, so let's start. Let's start over. This is part of the Alabaster Penitentiary series, a prison romance series. These 2 are both prisoners at Alabaster Penitentiary. We have Warren Xavier, also known as Ren, and then we have Lex Luthor Dion, who goes by Luther. I did really enjoy this book. I think it's my favorite of the series so far. These 2 have been teased since book 1, which is Distorted. All of the books take place like within the same like timeline. Mostly, some of them extend further like past it, but they all happen within the same general time. But yeah, these 2 are toxic, but I loved it. I'm usually like, ooh, toxic, but like, I was down with these 2. It's also like a second chance. Let me also put that out there. Second chance as well. So Ren is like down bad, trying to get Luther back. It's great. I'm gonna read you some quotes from this. So, and my eyes lift slowly, finding the familiar sky blue gaze red on mine. As usual, he looks at me more than anything else. From the moment where we met, it was like my soul reached out and grabbed onto him, clutching with desperate, greedy fingers, trying frantically to smush him in and make him a part of me. And what's love if not complete and total obsession, right? I mean, he's not wrong. You make me feel like fireworks over the ocean. Fireworks are like a big thing for them. I mean, it's even like on the back of the book. It's so cute. I'll dream about you, baby, like the fireworks over the ocean. He brought me back to life. I feel like a real human just from knowing him. But yes, this is Fragments, Nahila K. Let's move on here. We're yapping a lot. The next book I read was Ride With Me by Simone Sultani. I believe I gave this a 3.75. Yes, I gave this a 3.75. This is a marriage of convenience. They get drunk at Vegas one night. He's an F1 driver, and she's got bakeries, cafes all around the US. I do have to say, this was kind of a slow burn. because they were gonna get together before they got married, and then they like got married and nothing happened, and then he was pining after her for so long, and sometimes she was going back and forth, and the last 100 pages at some points I was starting to get annoyed. I was like, because I just want them together and happy, you know? But what else? There was a lot of like side plots or things in their life that were happening that were just quickly wrapped up towards like the last 100 pages, and I feel like it could have been spread out evenly more at once. Like everything just kind of sort of happened at once. So I wish more time would have been taken to just go through all of that stuff. And there was a conflict for Thomas. It's Thomas and Stella, by the way. I'm really bad at mentioning key details. As I mentioned before, I apologize. Thomas has a conflict in his F1 world, which makes sense on why they keep the marriage. And I just wish we could have gotten more of it, because I feel like it kind of got pushed to the side a little bit here and there, because this is an F1 romance. But a lot of it does happen during the winter break of F1. So it's like, if you know anything about F1, it happens during like their winter break in between seasons. But I still did have a lot of fun reading this, and Thomas, what a man. I love Stella too. She's a badass woman. But yeah, let me read you some of my favorite quotes. There are no words for how stunning you are, Stella. It's a bloody privilege to even lay eyes on you. He's British, by the way, if the bloody privilege didn't give it away. When I kiss you again, Stella, it's not going to be for show. When they say that in any marriage of convenience, eat it up every time. I'd follow you to the ends of the earth if you'd let me. Anyways, that's Ride With Me by Simone Sultani. The last book I read this month. This one was on my 2025 TBR. So I finally marked one off. It's been a while. The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. This is my first ever Christina Lauren book, actually, that I've read. I own other books of theirs. Something Wilder, Love in Other Words, and The Unhoneymooners. But this was the first one I've read of theirs. This is also a marriage of convenience. 2 of the 3 books I read this month were marriage of convenience. I didn't even realize that until I was like maybe halfway through this book. I was like, this is another marriage of convenience. But it also took me a while to read all these books. Like this one took me like 9 days to read, which usually I read a book in like 2 days. But there were some days like where I didn't read it also. And that's also probably why I didn't realize until like halfway through that I've read 2 marriage of conveniences in a row, because my reading for these were a little slow. But I did rate this a 4.5 stars. It was a really fun read. Sometimes the characters annoyed me, but I feel like any character pretty much kind of does. Just like any person can annoy you. So I didn't really like take that into consideration when rating this. I do wish we would have gotten more of these 2 post-trip, because this, let's rewind again. Anna Green and Liam Weston. I don't want to say too much because I feel like it kind of spoils how they got where they are. Well, I guess not really. Anna Green marries Liam Weston for access to family housing while they're both at UCLA. She also thought she signed their divorce papers when she graduated. She didn't. They're still married because in the stipulation for him, Liam, this is a part of an inheritance clause as well. He has to be married for 5 years before he can gain his inheritance. It's a whole thing there. And then a few years later, after she thinks they signed divorce papers, he comes back and says, hey, you need to go to my sister's wedding with me on this island. Because people are asking questions. I feel like I can't say much more without some spoiling, so we're just going to leave it at that. I did rate this at 4.5. I did love these 2. Good summer read, obviously, Paradise Problem. So yes, these are the 3 books that I read in the month of July. And these 4 are the unfortunate ones on my July TBR that I did not get to. Now that we've done the wrap up, let's go on to August TBR. One of my favorite things to do. Alrighty, for storing purposes, I have this little jar of my TBR prompts, but for picking purposes, I'm gonna put them in this little tray because I wrote all the prompts on white paper instead. The light's blocking this. And these pieces of paper are bigger than they used to be. So it's going to be hard to fairly pick them in this little jar. So I'm just going to throw them in this little tray for now. So yes, we have my TBR prompts. I think I'm going to stick with 6 prompts again. That's what I did last month, which is still good. I mean, I only read 3 books last month, but that's just more of a me thing, not me not reading books from the TBR. So we're still going to stick with 6. My phone's going to die, so hopefully we can do this beforehand. So we're going to do 6 again. Let's start by mixing a little. And 1 fell out, so we're going to go with that. Alrighty, first one. It says random Kindle read. I don't know if... Wow, this really wants to focus on my face today. Random Kindle read. Let me see what's on my Kindle. Maybe I'll pick one from what I have on my Kindle library at the moment. Let's do one that I don't have physically. Ooh, what I think I'm going to pick is Chasing Wild by Elliot Rose. It's book 1 of Crimson Ridge series. Book 4 comes out, and Tony Hamilton is one of the narrators for it. It's an MM, and I really, really, really want to read that. So we're gonna put Chasing the Wild. I'm really excited for this series. I love a cowboy romance series. So there we go. First choice. Option 2. Book that starts with the letter of the month, which would be A for August. Duh. Let's go through. Let's find some books. I already have an idea for one of them. I've got 4 books for possibilities. First is Anxious People by Frederick Backman. I'm very intrigued by this. There's a hostage situation. And I haven't read Frederick yet before. I also have Baritone, which would be a nice one to read soon too. And then Court of Thorns and Roses. Obviously, this was on my July TBR. Didn't get to it. This would be, I feel like August would be a good time to start this because then it kind of goes in the fall. And I feel like fantasy's more fall vibes. I don't know specifically about this series, but like another top tier option. Next one would be Apprentice to the Villain, which I do plan to read after Assistant to the Villain. So this could be like my guaranteed read of my August TBR. And then the last one is Arcana Academy. This is a new release. It sounds super intriguing. There's tarot cards involved and a heist and I believe a fake engagement. Yes, so another good intriguing romantasy. I think I'm gonna go with one of these 3. Either Apprentice to the Villain or A Court of Thorns and Roses. So we're gonna go with Apprentice to the Villain for book 2. Let's go with book 3. Oh, I had one fall in my lap, but I chose one, so we're gonna put it all. What fell now? We're just gonna go with the one that fell because Maddie choose. Let me text Maddie. I have texted her. She responds pretty quick, so. Alrighty guys, Maddie has chosen. She chooses Cash by Jessica Peterson. I just recently bought this too. I've been wanting to read the books for a while. I was gonna get them before the traditionally published covers came out, but I didn't. But that's okay because this is gorgeous anyways. And we've got the sprayed edges. So now this is my 3rd book for TBR. Maddie chooses. Thanks, Maddie. Now I feel pressure to like definitely read that book because she chose it. But I do love a small town cowboy romance, so. And it's been a minute since I've read one. And now I have 2 on my TBR. Anyways, let's choose a 4th prompt. Ooh, a last month TBR didn't read. I put all the books away. I should have left them out. Promise Me Sunshine, Cara Bastone. The Naturals, Jennifer Lynn Barnes, Casey McQuiston, One Last Stop. Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Thorns and Roses. These were the books I did not get to last month from my TBR. I'm thinking I have 2 romances already, and they're both cowboy romances. And I have 1 fantasy. I think we're gonna put the 2 romances to the side. So it's between a fantasy and a mystery. I do really want to read The Naturals, but I also really need to read ACOTAR. I do already have a fantasy. I feel like ACOTAR has been on my monthly TBRs for a while, and I still haven't gotten to it. So maybe if I don't put it on my TBR, I'll actually read it. So we're gonna go with The Naturals, Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Plus it's YA mystery, and I don't have any YA or mystery in my TBR yet. So we're gonna go with this. Alrighty, our 5th. Oh, we got 20. Alrighty, it says Age Gap. The lighting is great until I try to show you what this is. It says Age Gap. I can only think of 1 age gap at the moment, but there's another book I want to read before it. And the other age gap I'm thinking of isn't out yet. This is why I gotta look it up, because I don't even realize some of these are age gap. I've got an idea for 1. Chasing the Wild. Isn't that what I'm already reading? I'll be reading 2 age gaps this month. Okay, only 1 has caught my attention on Kindle so far. It says their age gap is 8 years, and I know I have this book physically, and I've been dying to read it because I need to get into this author. Which is so funny. There was another book from this author that I was thinking of when I first saw the word age gap. But I don't want to read that one first because this would be my first ever venture into this author. As I mentioned, Allie Hazelwood. Apparently, The Love Hypothesis is an 8-year age gap, and I've been dying to read Allie Hazelwood, and I really want to start with The Love Hypothesis before going into anything else. So, we're gonna go with this. 1 more. Oh, this is so sad. I don't know. I could like choose books from prompts for days. It's so fun. Why? I don't know. Even though I fail to read 95% of my TBRs that I put together. It's so fun. Okay, last one. Continue a series. I can't get any of these in focus today. I apologize. Continue a series. That'll be good. I have a few series I need to continue. So let me gather ones that I need to continue. Alrighty, I have a pile, and these are just the physical books that I have that are continues of a series, and I didn't realize how many I mean, I knew I had a lot, but like this is just physical, and I don't even know. I didn't even grab them all. One of them I didn't grab because I'm gonna read it once it comes closer to the TV adaptation of it coming out, which is Romance. No, not Romance, I miss Bridgerton. But it's Bridgerton, Benedict's book. I don't know what it's called, and I can't read it from here. So I'll put it here. But yeah, I didn't grab that one because I want to read that closer to when the episodes finally come out, which won't be for a while. So I've got a whole stack instead. Okay, first book I have is Out of the Woods, Hannah Bonham Young. I did read Out on a Limb. I loved that book. I gave it 5 stars. I read it this year. These 2 were also in Out on a Limb. They're the 2 best friends from the other 2. This is high school sweethearts that they're married, second chance type of. They go on a week-long wilderness expedition to help them reconnect. Next I have Spiral by Bala Cabra. The book before this is Collide, which was alright. I almost DNF'd it, but I stuck it out and I liked it. But this is a hockey player and a ballerina. And as a former dancer, I'm like, I haven't read many like ballet romances, but next, Enchantra. Why can't I say this one ever? I've struggled since it came out. Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. The first book is Phantasma, which I believe I also rated 5 stars. And I've heard great things about this one. I've heard a lot of people say this one's better than the first one, and I love the first one. So that would be very interesting. This next one, I have Garnet Flats. Garnet Flats by Daphne Perry. This is part of the, I was about to say the title of the first book, Indigo Ridge. This is a part of the Eden series. This is on my 2025 TBR. And I was kind of saving the rest of the series for more full time, so I could read this towards the end of August. It would be a super quick read. There's 326 pages. Another great option. Along with King of Envy. This is the 5th book of the King of Sin series by Anna Juan. I only remember 2 of the 4 books that are currently out. I know what King of Wrath and King of Greed are about, but I couldn't tell you what King of Pride and King of Sloth were about. So I'd have to get a recap on those if I could. This is also on my 2025 TBR. Great option. And then my last 2 options are Dark Romance, Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver. I really enjoyed Butcher and Blackbird, and it's getting adapted into a show, I believe, which is really exciting. I'm intrigued to see how they'll do that. I've heard all right things about this one, and I don't have a dark romance on my TBR. And then the second dark romance I have is Wretched by Emily McIntyre. This is part of a Never After series by her. I've read the first 2, Hooked and Scarred. I read those in 2023, too. So it's been a while since I picked up this book. I don't think they're interconnected. I mean, I remember what the other 2 are about, but I wouldn't need to like reread them before hopping into this. So those are all of my options. That's a lot of options. Let me think here. I've got 1, 2, 3 romances, I've got a mystery, and a fantasy. I don't have a dark romance, but I've got 2 2025 TBRs on here. I feel like I should do one of the 2 2025 TBRs. I do really need to start working on it. I mean, I did last month, I read 1 of the 3 books. So I think I'm gonna go with one of these 2. Let me read the backs. I know this is a second chance. I remember being really intrigued when the male main character showed up in the last book of this series. I was like, oh, this is about Talia Eden and Foster Madden. He chose to marry her best friend, but then years later, he comes back begging for help. He's got a divorce from her former best friend, and he needs help training for his world championship fight. That's right, he's a fighter. This one could be good. Obviously, it's Stephanie Perry, but Sheila Sparrows by her is fantastic, by the way, if you haven't read it. I've yapped about it before, but I'm gonna say it again. And then we have King of Envy. I've heard good things about King of Envy. I heard a lot of people say it's their favorite of the series so far. This is a bigger book. They're both of these are on Kindle Unlimited, which is also an issue because now I can't just be like, oh, this one's also on Kindle. Because I really have been liking lately reading books that I have physically that are also on Kindle in case I don't want to hold the book. That sounds really lazy, doesn't it? Anyways, this is a billionaire romance. So it's billionaire or small town. Why are both of these marriages or engagements with friends? I talked through my dilemma with Maddie, came to the conclusion that Garden Flats is gonna be on the TBR. So this is the final choosing for my August TBR. So let's go through everything one more time. So our first prompt was a random Kindle read, and the book we chose was Chasing the Wild by Elliot Rose. And then a book that starts with the letter of the month, we chose Apprentice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Meyer. Maddie chooses is the next prompt, and she chose Cash by Jessica Peterson. And then a last month TBR didn't read, we chose The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. For an age gap book, The Love Hypothesis. And lastly, continuous series, Garnet Flats, Stephanie Perry. I think this is a good list. Yes, there's 3 small town romances within this pile. However, we have a STEM romance, a fantasy, and a mystery that can mix it up in between. So I think this is a good pile. I'm happy with this pile. So I guess we will see at the end of the month. Hopefully I can get through most of these. We're going to aim for 2 because that's what I did this past month. So we're going to aim for 2 again. But in an ideal world, I'd read all of these next month, in the month. But anyways, that is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on my socials. If I could speak, maybe you would. Follow me on my socials. Comment if you want. Have you read any of these? You probably have, considering they're all quite well-known books. But let me know what you think of these. Which one should I read first? Let me know what you think. But that is all. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time for my next video, whatever that may be. You'll have to subscribe to find out. Okay, okay, bye.